Okay, now to our first story. You know, irresponsible police officers will continue to make the job of good police officers dangerous. A constable with the Benue State Police Command, Belasa Iyenge, I hope I got that right, has been fired for raping a 16-year-old girl who was in jail. Now, under the guise of assisting the hapless girl, the constable entered the cell, took her to an office, and had carnal knowledge of the lady. The molested girl reported the misdeed to the divisional police officer, the DPO. Now, the constable, we can tell you, is already facing prosecution at the magistrates' court, Makurdi, the state capital. Thankfully, it goes beyond the dismissal, Jide.
Yes. We've heard of policemen sleeping with wives of suspects. We've heard of policemen arresting loiterers at night, late in the night, and taking them to a place where they slept with. All kinds of things we hear policemen do. And in this same police force, we have people who are a pride to the uniform, who are a pride to the job of policing, people that are worthy mentors. But the bad eggs continue to let down the good officers and men in the police. I've said before that there are some policemen who will never receive bribe. There are policemen, or there were policemen who passed through the force, retired with unblemished record. No one can say, I bribed him on this particular day. But we have those of them who, like this fellow, have completely lost it. How do you go and bring out an underage girl, a minor,
in distress,
in detention, and they decided to sleep with her? In this Lagos, it was the case of a policeman, a senior policeman, who slept with the wife of a suspect.
Under the guise of helping her.
You know, it just, nobody knows whatever they said before he started sleeping with her. Nobody knew. But they caught him in the act. He didn't even lock the door. He was so foolish that he didn't lock the door.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, sex, God did not design sex for people to sleep with one another in the open. Have you, Mr. Baton? So if you even want to do it, accord yourself some
privacy.
Yes, privacy. He didn't do that. They opened the door and found him. He didn't lock the door. You know? So all kinds of things. There are those of them who would take people to listen, who extort money, take people even to ATM point that they should transfer money to them. Some have POS agents working for them. If you say you have not got money, they say, okay, use your ATM. Your card. You know that. I mean, it takes a policeman, an unthinking policeman, to behave like that, because you know that you will be found out. You will be found out now. How do you cover the trail? You can't.
Well, it's in the gene. If you today, you know, the whole problem starts from the recruitment ground. There was a particular way, you know, which the Oyibo left here. They said, before you get anybody recruited into the police, so many people will be involved. But these days, nothing like that happens.
Well, I think, like I always say, that the fundamental problem we have is not only with police, our system is that there's a rot that is so systemic that it will take a surgical operation to change the tide. Because except, of course, that system is changed, you continue to produce officers, people who take advantage of others, use their uniform or use their privileged position to take advantage of others. I could remember when I was very young, you know, during that period, we have people. We don't see, right up to when I left secondary school, I didn't see any policeman carrying gun. What they carry is batting. We called it kondo olokwa in those days.
Today, a policeman with a baton, would arrest a group of felons.
We used to stay him. without
Yeah.
them resisting him.
Nobody escaped.
And in those days, whenever a robbery, house burglary takes place in a particular place,
Yeah.
we invite the police. The police, when they study the way in which the act was carried out, they will know those people who are responsible
Yeah.
for it. Because those police, they were recruited from the community.
That's
They
it.
call them community policing. That community policing is the number one sure way to get in security in a particular area. Because they know your compound. Before you are recruited, they know your compound, they know your family background. Anyway, anybody from a broken home will not have the courage to want to join the police force. Because they will trace you to your background.
That's it.
That's why I say it's systemic. Let us go back to the way in which we recruit people in those days.
Today, if it is not too late.
I don't think it is too late. Because, the fear of some people is that when you localize police, it will empower some people to assert for certain rights. No.
Yeah.
There are certain crimes that should go beyond community police.
But, joining the police now, because there's no job outside.
And it has become an all-commerce affair.
Yeah.
It is those people who have dignity that joined the police in those days. Because it is like a teacher. It was a service. Throughout the time I left primary school, I can never remember any time our teacher take us extra lesson and demand for money. They will teach us free of charge. Because they are teachers naturally.
Jide would say yes to this. Mr. Hussein was a policeman. In those far-off days, Jide, if we mention the name Hussein, you were either passed or punished.
Yes. And he left an indelible mark as CP Lagos.
Oh, come on.
He was not a rich man because he would rather not do what others were doing.
That's it. That's it.
You see, that good name, long after he's gone, that good name lives on. And that is what we want to see. This is his son. I can say it anywhere. Somebody wrote a book. I don't know if you eventually saw that book, a professor from Ife.
Okay.
He wrote a book about policing in our country, and he paid tribute.
Cited some names.
Yes, he paid tribute to your dad. Everyone will recall the kind of person that he was. And the thing about history and the written word is that it's there for generations. So if you are a bad person, if you are a bad apple, a bad example, it's the same way that people will talk about you.
Again, a little nostalgia here will not hurt anybody. There was a Mama Toyin, if you remember, in the Mushin area. You remember?
In fact, there was...
You, as a police, as a downful person, you dared not incur her wrath. Mama Toyin.
In those days when I was growing up, there's one they call one man Ulumoko. Ulumoko means the day the man goes out, it's a traffic warden in Abeokuta. The day he goes out, you will park your car at home. You dare not take your car out if your papers are not. They call it him Ulumoko. It's like a mixture between white and black. But you dare not take your car out. Secondly, in 1979, I met Christopher Omebe.
Okay.
I think it's late now.
A gentleman
He's detained one rich Nigerian that I will not, is of blessed memory now, because of election infraction in 1979. He detained him at Ibarra police station, I could remember. The man was saying that me in Nigeria, and he detained him till the following day. He did not release him because of election malpractice. Christopher Omebe, may he so rest in peace.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, those are police officers. He was never not looking at the face of that man. The man was a multi-millionaire. He was detained for election.
Nobody can be bigger than the law now.
That's the kind of society that we want. That's the kind of society we want.
That society was there. So it is not too late to reinvent.
No, it's just, I'm just concerned about the descent to anarchy. We are behaving like we are not governed by laws anymore.
Yeah.
And you see people behaving like, look, whatever they do, they can get away with.
They are above the law.
We must make people realize that everyone operates within the law, that no one is bigger than the laws of the land. No one is bigger than the state. So if you commit a crime against the state, the DSS, the other security operatives can go get you and make sure that you get punished.
That's
the reason crime has gone down in many countries of the world is the fact that people realize that they can't get away. from the long arm of the law. You dare not do it. Some countries have dealt decisively with corruption because you know that whoever you are, even if you are a president, if you commit acts of corruption, they will get you and they will jail you. We've seen countries jail their former presidents.
Oh, yeah.
In our country, people who are not big enough to be presidents, they trample on our laws and they behave like
and they tell you to your face.
They tell you
nothing
go to court. They tell you go report me at the police station
Let me
because they believe that they can't punish them.
1987 in Abeokuta was already a zero-party local government affair. One man committed rape in 1957. He was jailed probably for 7 years in Abeokuta. Now, between 1957 and 87, 30 years, 2 generations have passed. The man assumed that nobody knew about it. 7 other people contested election for Abeokuta North local government. The late Titi Ajanoku was one of the women who contested that election. So the man won in court. The following week, they brought out the judgment in which he was sentenced for rape in 1957.
Good.
He thought everybody has forgotten.
Yeah.
Wow.
He forfeited the seat to late.
Despite the fact that there was no internet.
There was no internet there. They brought it out. You see, there's something they called you can only hide. You cannot.
Yeah.
You can only run. You can't hide.
You can't hide. Again, Tupac Shakur was killed over 20 years ago.
Yes.
But the case, the killer, the suspect has been.
Just
They
arrested.
just bounced them now.
So it is possible.
It is possible, no matter how long it takes.
The irony is that
How long it takes.
this constable has actually inflicted more injury on the minds of that lady than she was actually accused of. She was accused of actually character defamation. And under 24 hours, maybe he has been eyeing the lady for some time. I wouldn't know, because the lady was detained on August 15. On August 16, he brought the lady out and slept with her. I don't know what is happening. Maybe he has been looking for an opportunity to sleep with the lady.
Well, thankfully, as we said, he is facing trial.
It was a reason that
there.
cheap sex was available. Because somebody in distress,
Yes, you know,
You are taking advantage.
you took advantage of somebody in distress.
Okay, then.